it going, everyone? Welcome to season 4, episode 2 of the Powerskateshow podcast. Boy, oh boy, we got the best week that we will ever have. Oh my god, another round of free agency talk. We'll talk about last year was even better. I'll say that, but. Are we going to talk about this year? Yes. And before we do, ask you guys to please hit the like button. That may greatly appreciate a lot to me. That's going to make us do more podcast vids in the near future. But I think we got a certain person. I'm going to roll the intro really quick. He's back! I got...
We're going on with the Kurt Angle song. Sweet. I love it. How's it going, everybody? I'm Grant Fluff from Fluster Sports Zone, making his triumph return for Season 4, Episode 2. Hey, listen, you gotta like that intro on the Instagram because Alex put a lot of time into that. So go like it up on the Powerskateshow Insta. Brand new intro, and it's looking sick.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this might be our permanent intro for a while. See how this one goes. So yeah,
have to react on my Bruins losing to the Capitals again. Have to rewatch that. Yikes!
Oh my god. Yeah, I think it's been going on amazing. All right, are you ready to get this party started?
Let's get this.
You guys wanted some free agency talk? We will give you free agency talk. Let's do it. But first we gotta talk about some trades first. Hold on, before we do, we have to share our screens. Don't look at that. Don't look at that first. Do not. First off, you guys have to follow the Powerskateshow. The best in the game.
Best news for hockey, Puck Empire, Puck Report. Sit down, buddies. Now, Powerskate's on the run. No, I'm kidding. You're like our best resources. Don't block us, but yes. Yes. You gotta follow Powerskate for strictly hockey news every day. It's your go-to.
Yeah, and you gotta follow this certain person. I wonder who could that be. Fluster Sports Zone. Yeah, follow that. Follow Fluster Sports Zone for daily sports news. He does hockey, baseball, football, basketball, you name it.
Daily recaps on the Insta story too. Daily recaps.
Yes. And since we're here, we'll talk about a couple things on here. Senators re-signed defenseman Victor Mete to a 1-year, $1.2 million deal. That is right on the money because Mete is most likely someone who is always on the bottom pair defenseman for the most part.
Yeah, claimed by the Senators on waivers last year, and he actually did an okay job with Ottawa, so it makes sense why they re-signed him. But yeah, not an overpayment by any means.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much that.
We have a certain Bruin and Saber.
Oh shoot! Yeah.
Maybe you might want to share.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you get to see me get false hope.
False hope.
This is what this is. So Monday afternoon, it was spotted that Jack Eichel was practicing with the Bruins. Now he was in a Sabres jersey, and this is just up for speculation, but we know Jack Eichel lives in Boston, and we know Jack Eichel has been involved in a lot of Bruins rumors the past 2 years now. I don't know if a trade's going to happen here, but right now, with David Krejci leaving, we'll get to that later on, the Bruins right now need a second-line center. And guess what? Jack Eichel is that second-line center. And the fact that he's practicing with the Bruins, makes sense that although, yes, he's a Massachusetts native, and that's what a lot of people are telling me, but it would make sense that he's practicing with Boston now to potentially request a trade there in due time. This is minor news for right now, but it could build
Yeah.
into a huge rumor later on when Eichel trade rumors heat up again. So just keep in mind, he does occasionally practice with the Bruins.
Now let's go to the big business.
Yes.
Lots of free agency topics. Some certain topics that we're gonna give a round of applause. But let's
Look at this.
start. Hold on.
This is heaven. Looking at all these topics, we're just gonna rip through.
Capitals trade Brendan Dillon to the Winnipeg Jets for a 2022-2023 second round pick. A round plus for salary cap.
Round of applause. Good job, Capitals. You took my advice. Trade your garbage defenseman for draft picks. Yep, you listen to me.
Canucks goaltender Brandon Holtby and Sharks goaltender haven't bought out. Will be UFAs this offseason. Canucks, good job because
good job, teams. We'll get to where they sign soon, but yep, good job by both teams.
Yes, but this is something that we cannot clap. We can't even clap a thing. This Fleury
was
to Chicago.
The most dumbest trade I have seen in a long time. You trade away your franchise icon for a no-name prospect in a late round pick. You do realize Marc-Andre Fleury won the Vezina, right?
Yeah.
You realize that the goalie you should have traded away was Robin Leonard, right? Oh my goodness, Vegas. I don't know what to tell you. And I will say right now, I will not be surprised if trusting Leonard over Fleury doesn't backfire. I heard why Vegas isn't comfortable with Fleury because they didn't trust his decision-making. Look, he blew Game 3 against Montreal, but what other bad decision-making has he done with Vegas besides that play?
Nothing
to figure out, right? Exactly. Such a stupid reason to trade away a franchise icon.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Gretzky's gonna beat the goal record! Ovechkin's staying in the DMV for 5 years. Ovechkin will pass Wayne Gretzky on the all-time goals list. Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, he probably will, but come on. This is an overpayment. I'm sorry. I know it's Alex Ovechkin. But you are paying a man whose contract's going to expire when he's 40, almost $50 million. I know that the goal record is obviously tempting, and obviously seeing Ovechkin in any other uniform is awful. And I applaud Ovechkin for not going to Russia and wanting to stay with Washington. If I was the Capitals, you give this guy 3 years, $30 million flat. $10 million a year for the next 3 years, then you re-sign him to that 2-year contract heading into that age 40 season. I feel like they just gave the 5 years at him too quickly. I felt like if they waited, they definitely could have negotiated for like a couple more days and probably gotten a contract for just a little bit cheaper and a little less shorter. Not that Ovechkin's going to really slow down. It's that aspect where one down season or one bad injury and Ovechkin's just going to hit the wall. I think that's my main concern. There's a lot of, questions revolving this contract, whether, and of course Ovechkin stayed healthy for the majority of his career, but when obviously you get older, the more fragile your bones get, and now you're thinking, oh no, if Ovechkin suffers a long-term injury, what are we going to do? And now we have all this dead money.
Yeah.
Right now, it doesn't look awful, but
yeah,
something to be skeptical about.
Yeah. Canucks trade defenseman Nate Schmidt to the Winnipeg Jets for a 2022 second-round pick. I mean, if Winnipeg will acquire for Nate Schmidt, I would say, they would trade like a fourth line forward. Maybe
I mean,
like a Adam Lowry. I'm just throwing out players like a
I was
Adam
saying, like,
Lowry.
Adam Lowry is a first line right winger. You fool. Nah, but
I
yeah,
can't even
I
rewind.
don't know. It's a fair piece, really. Second round pick for Schmidt. I mean, that's what he's worth. Maybe throwing a prospect too if you're Winnipeg, but it's a fine trade. They both win. He wasn't doing much in Vancouver anyway.
All right. Some trade rumor talks from Vegas and Buffalo. Uh, if the Sabres trade Jack Eichel, the Golden Knights will have to give up Riley Smith, top prospect Payne Krebs, and defenseman Nick Hague in a upcoming first round pick.
It's really not at first glance. It's not awful, but then when you look at the first and the top prospect, then you're like, wait a minute. Riley Smith, I think, should be involved in this trade. And maybe, but I think you got to choose between either Cribs or the first. I don't think you can ask for both if you're Buffalo. I think if you pick with one or the other, I think Vegas could potentially accept this trade. Personally, if I was Vegas, I'd give up the first because I do think Payne Cribs is going to be pretty good in the near future. So I would have the exact frame they have right now, just remove Cribs, and I think Buffalo would still honestly accept it. So I do that.
Yeah, I think Payne Krebs should be traded at some point soon because like the thing is that like I if Vegas like it was the 2019 draft, so that would make sense. If Vegas did not pick Payne Krebs, they would pick like a Connor McMichael type guy,
Right.
and so I think is Payne Krebs a solid player? Yes, or is he was he a top 3 center in the NHL draft? No. Your top 3 centers from the 2019 draft were Jack Eichel, Connor McMichael, and Trevor Zegras. Payne Krebs was not a top 3 like center in your prospect pool or your draft pool, your like Bob McKenzie's rankings, Darren Drager's rankings, Elliot Friedman's rankings. They're not. Nick Hague, I don't see that happening. I think he's basically like the backbone Shea Theodore at some point soon. So yeah, I gotta agree. Riley Smith should be involved with this trade. Alright, now let's get to some business. Avalanche re-signed left wing Gabriel Landeskog to an 8-year, $7 million deal. I'm pretty much against them both. Yes, Landeskog has been your captain since Milan Hajduk left. I would say give him the 5-year, $7 million deal. AAV.
Okay, give him 35 mil. I mean, listen, Landeskog, we got to remember, Landeskog's still 28. I think that's the one thing that we got to remember. And he did have 52 points in 54 games last year. If Colorado loses Landeskog, they're still a playoff threat, but are they the cup contender? No. And then that's exactly why Colorado did this re-signing. Is it an overpayment? Maybe, maybe not. Future will tell. Right now, I don't think it is. Could it be like 3 or 4 years down the road? Perhaps. But right now, we just got to remember Landeskog's still in his late 20s, and Colorado is right now officially open their cup window. So there is no need to panic. This contract's going to be fine. As long as Landeskog avoids serious injuries, he'll be good.
Yes. All right. All right, now let's get to some business. Blackhawks trade defenseman Nikita Zadorov to the Calgary Flames for a 2022 third-round pick. Good deal, Chicago. Well, pretty much.
I mean, Calgary needed a defenseman now that they lost Giordano in the expansion draft, and they're going to pretty much just hope Zadorov's that guy, so not awful.
All right. Lightning trades center Tyler Johnson to the Chicago Blackhawks for a retired defenseman, which I should put in all capital letters, Brent Seabrook.
Well, Brent Seabrook's contract. But yes, regardless, it's still theoretically Brent Seabrook. I mean, Tyler Johnson, we knew he was a cap hit. But you're trading a cap hit for a retired cap hit. At least Tyler Johnson can still help you out. And Tyler Johnson's going to do wonders on Chicago. I ain't worried about that. I think he can go back to like his 2017 form with Chicago. But I just see Chicago absolutely dominating this trade. I mean, you're trading a cap hit for a dead contract. There's probably something where, the Lightning can sign like another free agency player because like certain salary cap rules, which is probably why they made this trade. I'm not GM by any sorts, but first glance, trade doesn't make sense, and unless Tampa Bay has something up their sleeve, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hurricanes re-signed left-wing Jordan Martinook to a 3-year, $1.5 deal. I'm gonna say that's a good deal, right on the money. Grant, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Decent player for the Hurricanes for the past few years now. And he also earned a payday. So a 3-year deal, not making a whole lot. It's a fine contract.
And let's save the brass bonanza for later.
I ain't even got it ready yet.
Yeah, let's save that for the next Hurricanes topic. Next, this does not come for brass bonanza for a reason. Maple Leafs star goaltender Pierre Mrazek to a 3-year, $3.8 million deal, and Pierre Mrazek will meet David Ayers. Probably.
I mean, why did you pick that picture is what I'm questioning.
That's a good question.
But, I mean, listen, Mrazek's fine. He's a decent goalie. It looks like Toronto is going to bring back Jason Campbell, so that's good. You got Peter Mrazek. You still got the 1-2 punch in net. You don't have the best goalies in the world. You don't have the worst goalies in the world. You have a very solid, both goalies can start 41 games a year type of thing going on, which isn't necessarily horrible. And, Pierre Mrazek's a good veteran. I liked him with the Hurricanes. And, remember, he was once that top prospect with the Red Wings way back when.
Yeah.
So, this guy has shown, though, he's decent in the NHL level. So it's a decent contract for Toronto. And, again, they're not really paying a whole lot for a serviceable backup goalie.
Mm-hmm. I guess there's no surprise. Oilers signed Zach Hyman to a 7-year, $5.5 million deal.
Overpayment. There is overpayments everywhere. And you get an overpayment. And you get an overpayment. And Zach Hyman is the exact definition of an overpayment. 33 points in 43 games. I know on paper that doesn't look bad. With a plus 19. This guy went from playing with Austin Matthews to Mitch Marner to the second line on the Edmonton Oilers. I think that's what we got to realize. And I think that's why we have to realize that this is actually an overpayment. He might be playing first line, but let's be real. Unless he switches to right wing, I just don't see him playing on the same line as McDavid and Draisaitl. So,
Yeah.
in my opinion, if he's playing second line minutes, this isn't exactly the most outstanding contract in the world.
Yeah. Hurricanes signed defenseman Frederick Anderson to a 2-year, $1.5 million deal. Hurricanes fans meet Freddie Anderson.
And he's not a bad goalie, so Brass Bonanza. But yeah, really not. He's not an awful goalie. Again, it's like I would have re-signed Mrazek personally, but Frederick Anderson's all right. He'll still be in the playoffs, so
Yeah.
not the end of the world.
Mm-hmm. Golden Knights re-signed defenseman Alec Martinez to a 3-year, $5.25 million deal. Kings legend.
Kings legend. Also, massive overpayment. I hate to be that guy, but
wow, you shockingly disrespected to a dude who scored the overtime game-winning goal in the 2014 Stanley Cup Final.
Listen, $15 million is what I gotta say to this. Alec Martinez is 34, and you just gave a hard-nosed, bruisey defenseman $15 million, and the contract's gonna expire when he's 37. 38, because his birthday's in the summer. I respect Alec Martinez for scoring that goal, scoring both game-winning goals against Chicago and the Rangers. But regardless, as much as I like him as a player, I despise the contract. Alec Martinez is a player you sign no more than like 2 years for like $9 million max. Like if this was 2 years, $9 million, I wouldn't say anything. But
yeah,
3 years with the extra $5 million on top of that, it's kind of pushing it.
Yeah. Ha ha. Canucks. Well, I wouldn't say ha ha, but it's no surprise. But Canucks signed goaltender Yarrow Halak to a 1-year, $1.5 million deal, and Demko and Halak will go have some fun.
I am in serious pain. I have not liked a Bruins goalie this much since the good old days of Tim Thomas. Yaroslav Halak, I respect you, sir. Best of luck in Vancouver. Hopefully you improve from your 9-6-4 record. This guy's a shutout machine, by the way. 52 career shutouts. Just pointing that out. So Vancouver actually does have a decent goalie tandem. I mean, with Halak as your solid veteran who can play up to 30 games a year and Thatcher Demko as your main guy, Vancouver has goalies. And as long as they just improve on their defense, they're fine. They can actually make the playoffs because that forward core and the goalie core is too good for them to not suck. It's the defense that's going to live and die in Vancouver.
Right. Yeah. Moving on. Curtis McDermott is a Colorado Avalanche. Well, picked by Seattle for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 days with the Kraken. Woo! I mean, it's whatever. I mean, he wasn't going to find a spot in Seattle. I mean, maybe he would have, but he probably wouldn't have lasted long. You know, obviously didn't. Colorado, I don't think he's going to last long there either. I think it's more of an AHL trade. Yeah, maybe someone you can play for a healthy scratch. Worst comes to worst, play him like 3 or 4 games a year. Worst comes to worst, eventually becomes a nostalgia of the week when he retires in 2 years is what I'm trying to say.
All right, next. Kraken signed center Alexander Wenberg to a 3-year, $1.5 million deal. I'll say this. I'm not saying that this is a bad deal. Yes, he had like some breakout years with Columbus and Florida. But the thing is he worth $4.5 million? Probably. But I would say lower a bit, like $4 million, $3.5 million. That is right on the money.
It's an overpayment and it's not. Like, Yeah, Wenberg's going to be playing on the second line in Seattle, so it makes sense why they got to throw him a little extra money than maybe other teams want to. That makes sense. 29 points in 56 games. Not terrible. I mean, again, we are talking about a guy who had a 40-point and 59-point seasons, but that was back in his Columbus days. Not even Columbus days. I'm talking about 2015 and 2017. This guy has just been a consistent second, third line player. Well, second liner with the Blue Jackets, third liner with the Panthers, and he's got to be a second liner on Seattle just because expansion team. But it is an overpayment. I ain't gonna lie to you. It is, but it's not the worst overpayment in the world. Is what I guess I'm getting to. Like in my opinion, this is a little bit better than the Zach Hyman contract. Although Hyman is the much better player, if you get what I'm saying.
Flames signed center Blake Coleman to a 6-year, $4.9 million AAV.
This was the overpayment that I wanted to bring up. Blake Coleman. You do realize he's a product of the Lightning system, right? You do realize that now he is going to be playing on the second line, and he is going to struggle and struggle hard. Blake Coleman is a guy who doesn't do a whole lot in the regular season, but eventually shows up in the playoffs. That's what he did with the Lightning. That's exactly what he did with the Lightning the past 2 years. Calgary is not a playoff team. Why are they throwing almost $5 million a season at this guy? Blake Coleman, tremendous speed. What else does he have? He's small, so he gets shoved off the puck more often than other players. Yeah, he's 5'11", 200 pounds on the dot. This guy is puny, which explains why he's so quick. No disrespect to Blake Coleman, and he definitely deserved a little bit of a pay raise, but by like a $3 million pay raise every season, I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think the year length is the problem.
Yeah, I mean,
think
the 6 years,
6 years is too long. Another trade. Hurricanes trade right wing Warren Fogle to the Edmonton Oilers for defenseman Ethan Bear. I was surprised that Ethan Bear got traded.
Ethan Bear's all right. I mean, Warren Fogle is all right. I mean, you trade a slightly above average player for a average player who's probably going to be slightly above average in Edmonton and Warren Fogle. I mean, Carolina, just kind of like some other teams I mentioned, their main strength is next year is going to have to be defense. Again, someone like Ethan Bear isn't exactly horrible. As for Edmonton, they need help on that third and fourth line. Warren Fogle could even be playing second line minutes depending on if injuries occur and whatnot. But overall, it's a decent trade for both teams. So, it is what it is. Plus, Ethan Bear's probably more happy.
Yeah. We got another slight interesting trade. Golden Knights trade defenseman Nick Holden to the Ottawa Senators for right wing Evgeny Dadonov.
I have nothing. This is maybe the stupidest trade ever. What? Why did Ottawa just sell off their actually talented first line right winger for Nick Holden? I respect if you don't want to play that. If you don't want to pay Dadonov, I get it. But if you are going to undersell him for an aging defenseman, that's ridiculous. If I was Ottawa, I would have traded for Alec Martinez and gave him that 2 or 3 year contract that Vegas gave him. That's what I would have done.
True.
Undersell right there.
Lightning signed goaltender Brian Elliott to a 1 year, $900,000 deal.
Man, he's better than Curtis McElhinney, but he's
veteran
not good.
piece. Veteran backup for Vazzy. Predators re-signed right wing Mikhail Granlund to a 5-year, $4 million deal. That's a good signing.
Yeah. I mean, Mikael Granlund's decent. He always has been decent. He could potentially play on the first line. I think he actually has a little bit. I mean, yeah, 27 points in 51 games last year certainly isn't awful. Again, it's just kind of like Alexander Wenberg. Like when he was with the Wild, he was really good. Kind of joined Nashville, and he's still decent. He has slowed down a little bit production-wise, but I mean, is what it is. That's still not an awful contract.
Yeah.
Plus, Finland native. I gotta respect my Finland natives.
Lightning fans, Bogosian is back to Tampa.
That is literally nothing to get excited about. We should be having car crash effects in the background.
I got even funny effects for later, but 3-year, $800,000 deal. The 3 years, $800,000 deal is most likely a ELC contract.
I mean, essentially, what's Zach Bogosian going to do other than play like 8 games a year? Just replace an injured defenseman for a short period of time. He does it a couple times a year, and there you go. He gets a small payday. I mean, it wasn't awful on the Leafs last year, but it did Zach Bogosian. What do you expect? He's not outstanding by any means.
Yeah. Canadiens fans, meet someone who beat you in the finals, David Savard, for your $3.5 million AAV.
Can't beat him, have him join you. I mean, listen, it's not the worst contract in the world. I've certainly seen worse. Savard's okay. Tampa Bay only had him for that half a season regardless, so it's not like, Lightning fans should be getting attached to Savard or nothing. He was a decent defenseman, but, he won his ring. He deserves a payday. Montreal's able to give him that payday, and it's a decent contract. I'm not going to go full into detail, though. Could be worse. They could be giving him like $7 million a year, and I would be yelling at now I can yell at the top of my lungs again. Columbus, what are you doing? As a Bruins fan, listen, I like Sean Corrali, but he is nothing more than a third-line center. Why you, first off, sign him to a 4-year deal? That's ridiculous. What is he going to do? And who is he going to feed the puck to? Besides maybe Eric Robinson? No one. Exactly. Bad contract. Bad contract all around. Sean Corrali, much respect. I'm honestly kind of glad you're off the Bruins because you had a very lackluster second part of the season last year. 9 points in 47 games. 9 points in 47 games, and that will give you a 4-year contract with the Blue Jackets. Management ain't doing something right.
Jarmo Kekalainen. He's the Mike Milbury 2.0 for Rick DiPietro.
Okay, well, Rick DiPietro is a horrific contract in its own little field, but yeah, Corrali, not a good contract. Probably the worst I think we've gone over so far. It's either this one or the Martinez one, but at least Alec Martinez is on the top 4 pairing for Vegas. So, yeah. Therefore, that makes the Corrali signing worse, I think.
Yeah. All right, what's next? Canadiens signed Cedric Paquette to a 1-year, $900,000 deal, and I had to say this: he is pretty much a beer league player right now.
8 points in 47 games. At first, I was thinking this was a little bit of an underpayment, actually, but now, obviously you don't have to judge everything just based off of box statistics and stuff. But listen, he's a third, fourth liner. Montreal need a target defense, which they did obviously by signing Savard. But why do they need Cedric Paquette when they have Jake Evans? Well, I guess they lost Corey Perry, but still, I don't know. Montreal could have went after someone better, or maybe a better forward.
Yeah.
Or maybe re-sign someone the Kings signed. Another one we'll get to later.
Hold on. Canucks signed defenseman Travis Hamonic to a 2-year, $3 million deal, and I have questions with it. Travis Hamonic is a 7th defenseman, and you literally paid 2 years, $3 million AAV for a permanent 7th defenseman.
Dude, 10 points in 38 games. That'll get you $6 million. This is the defenseman version of the Corrali contract. If you want to resign for another year, whatever, I got no problem with it. But if you're going to resign for 2, make him a cap hit, and not even guarantee him a roster spot, what are you doing? Oh, not to mention the -3 looking nice.
My minor league deal, Canadiens signed for JSD to a 1-year $950,000 deal. Most likely gonna be an AHL guy. Ducks re-sign Ryan Getzlaf to a 1-year deal. Well, I'm gonna give a round of applause for keeping the captain staying in Anaheim.
I have applause. I'm really upset because I want Getzlaf to go elsewhere to try to win his second ring. He wants to stay loyal to Anaheim. I respect that. But yeah, I wanted Getzlaf to sign elsewhere with like a cup contending team. Like I personally, if I was Getzlaf, I would have signed with the Lightning, or I would have, or maybe Toronto. I mean, Toronto could probably use him.
Yeah. And finished
like,
at 1967.
Carolina's another one. Like there are teams I would have signed with, but Ryan Getzlaf wants to end his career with the Ducks. I ain't gonna hate on that. I think the contract was $4 million as well, so everyone's happy. It's a cheap deal. You get your captain back. You get your best player besides Timo Solani in franchise history back. So
yeah,
good signing.
Sharks signed goaltender James Reimer to a 2-year, $2.25 million AAV.
Sharks fans, you're getting flashbacks from 2017?
No, 2016.
16, whatever year it was. Listen, this is a bad contract. Not an overpayment, but it's just not great. James Reimer is a consistent backup in this league.
Yeah.
And I know he's making just about $5 million. So again, it's not the worst contract in the world, but why do you need him?
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt I just gotta say, you gotta start Aiden Hill at least. Like if they don't start Hill, they're doing something wrong.
I mean, Reimer, 2 years, $2.25 million. I think it's a good contract to say the least, but like would you lower it a bit, like 2 years, $2 million, 2x2?
Yeah. I mean, I would give her the 0.5. I'd just be like, yeah, like 2 years, $2 million. You make $1 million a year. You start like 25, 30 games for us. We're satisfied. Just don't suck. Words of advice, but yeah, it's okay.
Maple Leafs signed left wing Michael Bunting to a 2-year, $950,000 deal, and I think he's the player who most likely bunts, because that's his last name, Bunting.
Tee-hee. It's a knee slapper right there.
Yeah. But, yeah. Devils signed defenseman Dougie Hamilton to a 7-year, $8.5 million AAV. I a little bit have questions for the Devils, but I have a little bit of questions for Dougie Hamilton. I understand that New Jersey is about to become a playoff team for this upcoming year or the next 2 years. Officially, I meant to say. Dougie Hamilton, Ryan Graves, Damon Severson, Subban, Luke Hughes potentially, at some point soon. And player Kevin Ball. Pretty much your defense is really stacked. And I have a question for Dougie Hamilton. Why would you go to a team that this is not a rant for him a little bit. My question for you, Dougie, is why would you go to a team that has not made the playoffs for the past 2 years due to some defense issues? When Subban, in his first year in New Jersey, flat out on his face.
Hamilton, I think, just didn't want to be a free agent for long. And he saw the money and he said, you know what, New Jersey's a young team. I'll go sign there. Hopefully we're in the playoffs in 3 or 4 years. Yeah. That's the only reason why I have for this, because it's pretty blatant to me that at least New Jersey had the salary cap to pull this off. But really, like, you're telling me Dougie Hamilton wouldn't have signed elsewhere. Like, you're telling me Hamilton wouldn't have signed like a 3-year deal with a cup contending team. And not even a cup contending team. Try a team like, the Predators, at least a playoff contender, like
Toronto,
like the Rangers, maybe the Maple Leafs if they have the cap for it. What does New Jersey bring to the table again, other than maybe playoff appearances a couple more years down the road? Again, I think this is just a case of where the athlete, he saw the money, he's already had a great career. I mean, Dougie Hamilton, even back with his days with the Bruins, the guy's just an assist machine. But at the same time, is this worth the 7-year contract? The future will obviously tell. I'm not going to say this is an overpayment because he was the best defenseman on the market. It really wasn't in the grand scheme of things. But the question is, does Hamilton make the right move signing with the team? Because remember, Hamilton's yet to win a cup.
Yeah. Moving on. Sharks signed left with Nick Bonino to a 2-year, $2.05 million AAV. Good signing.
I mean, I don't get it. They don't bring back Ryan Donato, but they'll sign Nick Bonino, which is an older version of Ryan Donato. I don't get it.
Bruins signed defenseman Derek Forbort to a 3-year, $3 million AAV. This is not my topic. Grant, I'll leave the floor to you.
Oh, why are you leaving the floor? I don't want to talk about this. He's just wasting more minutes for Vachenheinen to get called up. It's ridiculous. Why did he even get more than a year contract to begin with is beyond me. That was a bad decision to begin with. And, yeah, he hasn't done really anything in his entire career for Bot. I ain't impressed. I know he has a little bit of an offensive firepower to him, but then why couldn't they sign someone like Victor Mete, who just got re-signed today for much cheaper value? It makes no sense. And really, this was the one gripe I had about the Bruins this entire offseason so far. This was the real bad contract. You're paying a 6-pairing defenseman $9 million. The only positives that come from this is that, okay, we'll be seeing Derek Forbort instead of John Moore. But remember, the Bruins still have 2 years left from that horrific John Moore contract. What do you do with that? What do you do with Vachenheinen, who's ready to get called up? What do you do with Jacob Zaboral? He's ready to have a full-time in the NHL. I get you lost Lazone, but there's no need to overpay for a 5th-pairing defenseman. I said it. I don't care. This guy belongs on the taxi squad.
Yeah. Canucks signed defenseman Brady Keeper to a 2-year, $765,000 deal. It's pretty much a AHL guy, 7th defenseman. Not much to say.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hurricanes fans, you literally got robbed from the trade for nothing. Devils got it done. Jonathan Bernier signed to a 2-year, $4.125, and I want to laugh at the Hurricanes.
Yeah, straight away, our goalie, who was in the Calder Trophy race for a goalie who's going to leave us 5 days later. Fantastic management skills. But listen, we have to talk about this because New Jersey ain't out of the picture either. You're paying Jonathan Bernier over $8 million? What are you doing? Like, listen, Carolina was the dumbest of the two teams, but let's not exactly ease up on New Jersey either. Again, I really have no complaints about the Hamilton contract, but what is this Jonathan Bernier contract? I'm trying to look up his stats right now. To my knowledge, I mean, obviously he was on the Red Wings, so it wasn't great to begin with. And really, I don't think he has been that good since like 2015 when he was back on the Maple Leafs. Let's see. I mean, yeah, 9-11-1. A 9-14-6.
Solid on a short season.
Awful, and he didn't even have a shutout.
When's the
And
last
you're
time that
paying
he
this
had a
guy over $8
shutout?
million. Dude, hashtag push for Scott Wedgwood. We have
No, push for Kaprizov.
Yeah, we have the push for Kaprizov, but now I'm doing the hashtag push for Wedgwood.
All right.
Scott Wedgwood needs justice up in here.
All right. Stars. You signed Brandon Holtby and Ryan Suter for dudes who I have nothing else to say. Brandon Holtby 1 year, $2 million AAV. I'll give a round of applause for the year, not the AAV. But the one thing that I'm not gonna clap, 4 years, $3.65 million for a defenseman who has played signed a 80-year contract with Minnesota.
80-year contract. Yes, that's very accurate. Listen, Holtby, 7-11-3, no shutouts, 889 save percentage. Awful. We know Holtby was awful last year, which is why the Canucks bomb out. But listen, 1 year, $2 million. I mean, I would rather keep Khudobin for another year, but you want to go after Holtby, whatever. Contracts, fine, I guess. Ryan Suter. You do realize this guy's 36, right? You do realize he hasn't had. You do realize he just had 19 points last year. By far the worst in his career since his year 2, back in 2007.
Oh wow,
Dallas, what are you doing? Awful, absolutely awful contract, the Ryan Suter. And yeah, I mean, for Braden Holtby too, I mean, God, why you want to get rid of Khudobin so badly? He's better than Holtby, in my opinion, but you do you, Dallas. You do you.
Well, but before we go to our next topic, we actually have 7 more topics for probably one of the most laugh at them moments of all time. I'll keep you guys warned. All right, you probably might know who it is. Don't spoil it.
Well, it ain't the upcoming post.
Golden Knights signing left wing Sven Berchi. Oh well, he's gonna be the nostalgia of the week.
He's gonna be automatic nostalgia of the week. Former Calgary Flames prospect Sven Berchi. There we go. He's our nostalgia of the week because there's really no one else who would be a good nostalgia of the week. So good job, Sven Berchi.
Oh, we actually have another nostalgia of the week.
Well, we probably have a couple, but
yesterday,
I guess our first one.
Yes. Now let's talk about some Seattle. Philip Grubauer to a 6-year, $5.9 AAV, and Kraken signed right wing Jaden Schwartz to a 5-year, $5.5 million AAV.
Now, Jaden Schwartz contract, that's fine. Philip Grubauer, what is this garbage that they have to resubmit the contract? If Seattle isn't over the salary cap, they do not need to adjust the Philip Grubauer contract. I don't care. If they're not over the cap, you don't adjust the contract. If the Kraken want to go into cap hell in 2 years, let them do it. You shouldn't be like, we have to revise this contract. For what? Why? What does that benefit? Nothing. Exactly. And then for Jaden Schwartz, first liner, there you go. He has someone, Jordan Eberle can play with on the wing, so that's good.
Yeah.
Now we Schwartz.
Yeah. Now we gotta do some Kings topics. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexander Edler and Philip Deneau, both in Hollywood. That's right. Alexander Edler sent to a 1 year, $3.5 million.
I don't like you. Get you off. You off. No. I said you would either retire or go to Toronto, not join my team. There we go. Now we're talking. Philip Deneau, listen, $5.5 million. Pricey. But the Kings are honestly, I think they're ready to make the playoffs in the next 2 years. I'll take it a day, whatever. Philip Deneau. The guy impressed me a lot. The guy has speed. And he's only 26, I believe. Yeah, he was 28. 24 points in 53 games. It's not exactly great. It's not awful either. This guy is going to be pretty much a second liner with Los Angeles. So you want to overpay a second line center a little bit. I'm fine with that. This guy also played pretty well in the playoffs. Of course, let me just go look up his playoffs right now. Oh, never mind. He actually had a quite horrific playoffs. Well, he was decent I guess he's a decent defensive forward. But yeah, I actually only had 4 points in the playoffs. Okay. Again, he's a good defensive forward, so whatever.
Yeah,
but
true,
he actually had a horrific playoff, so ouch. That's not good.
Blackhawks signed defenseman Jake McCabe to a 4-year, $4 million AAV. And ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Sabres players who like the key players are out of Buffalo.
I mean, yeah, good for the Sabres. Just they had their fire sale, and I mean, listen, McCabe, he's gonna do wonders with the Blackhawks. I ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah.
And he's honestly better than Zadorov, so.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready for our next topic?
Let's go for it.
Here we go.
I did not have time to edit the brass bonanza with the car crashes in the background. My apologies. Regardless, what are you doing? You just got potentially the worst teammate in NHL right now, aside from Evander. You just got the worst defensive teammate. Why? Now, I know in reality, Tony DeAngelo's actually a decent defenseman. He does bring a lot of offensive firepower, which is something Carolina actually needs. But that's why you got Ethan Bear. You didn't have to go outside Tony DeAngelo. You certainly shouldn't have.
According to the picture.
Yeah, some people do, some people don't. This guy don't.
We have no time to play the brass bonanza. Do you know what we should play? We should play the sad brass bonanza in slow version. Alright, anyway.
We're like,
now let's get even better. Arizona Coyotes signed left wing Dmitry Yashkin to a 1-year, $3.5 million AAV. And I have a question for the.
That's your second nostalgia of the week, and yes, you may continue.
Do you realize that he's been in Europe for 2 years? The last time he played was the 2018-19 season. 3.5 mil. Hold on.
The rumors came out. I said that this rumor was stupid and Arizona shouldn't have done it. What does Arizona do? They don't listen to me.
Should Arizona give him a 3.5 mil deal? I'll say this: 1 year. I'll give. Hold on. I'll give him 1 year the credit. Give him 1.5 bill because this dude returned from Europe. And he's pretty much going to be in Tucson. Pretty much.
He's never going to do anything. He's going to get, what, 15 points on the third line? Ooh, boy. That's worth a decent contract. It's ridiculous. Dmitry Jaskin, he never panned out in general, and I don't know why Arizona's bringing him back. It's pretty clear he hasn't adjusted to the NHL, and he will ultimately be better in Europe. So it's weird that they're bringing him back.
Mm-hmm. Leafs fans, please welcome Curtis Gabriel to a 1 year, $750,000 deal. Just a good physical fourth liner at best.
Yeah, not great, but not terrible.
Maple Leafs signed center David Kampf to a 2 year, $1.5 million AAV. And David Kampf,
For
He
3
was
mil?
good.
I don't know. I don't think I do that.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'll say like it's a good sign, but like he was improving very well with Chicago. I'll say that.
Yeah.
More mil over the cap. You signed Brandon Point to an 8-year, $9.5 million AAV, almost $10 million. Good job, Tampa Bay. The shirt that says 18 mil over the cap still is born.
How are they not over the cap? Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Trading away Tyler Johnson and not re-signing a couple of AHL players does not, that can't possibly put you, we're back to the regular salary cap. I still think they're over. This is ridiculous. This is mutiny. I don't care what anyone says. You cannot tell me Tampa Bay, after re-signing Brain Point, they're not over the salary cap again. Because they are. They are. It's driving me crazy. Because last year I didn't mind it, but now I mind it. Because it's like, hey, why can they re-sign all their star players now? Like, I don't know. And it's honestly going to become unfair at this point. The league, if Tampa Bay wins the cup again next year, I think the league will ultimately step in and do something about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Contract don't make sense. It's not a bad contract. It's just, I don't know, Tampa pulled it off.
Sabres signed for Vinny Hinostroza to a 1-year, $1.05 million AAV.
The most Buffalo Sabre player in history has just joined the Sabres. I am incredibly shocked by this revelation.
Moving on. Calgary signed left wing Ryan Zingo to a 1-year, $1.1 million AAV, and I have a question on the price. Give him $2.5 million. That'll be around the money.
I mean, 2.5 mil is an overpayment, but 1.1 mil is an underpayment. So if we did like 1 year or 2 years at like 1.7, no one would say nothing. And I just realized this is the guy who's going to be giving Dmitry Jaskin all his assists.
We'll see.
Probably.
Blue Jackets signed Patrick Lyon to a 1-year, $7.8 million.
It's for 1 year, and Columbus needs Patrick Laine. They have to make sure that trade isn't a disaster at all costs. And I think Columbus just thinking, all right, without John Tortorella for a whole year, potentially we can get something going, revive Laine's career, and take it from there. But honestly, I think right now, yeah, Laine should not re-sign with Columbus. I would have waited and definitely went elsewhere. We know the talent's there for Patrick Laine. It's just Columbus. It just isn't a scheme. That's what sucks.
Mm-hmm. You can cue another brass bonanza. Antti Ranta is a Carolina Hurricane.
There you go. The most unenthusiastic brass bonanza ever. Whatever. Antti Ranta, decent goalie. Contract's not bad either. I think it's for 2 years. So contract's not bad.
Yes. Tucker Pullman is a Vancouver Canuck to a 4-year, $2.5 million AAV. I have a question. Do you realize that Tucker Pullman is most likely a bottom pair defenseman?
Now, I don't understand why they move on from Schmidt, who was a cap hit, just to sign Tucker Pullman and even make him an even worse cap hit. That's what I don't understand here. Why would you move on from Schmidt? Essentially, they did a Schmidt for Pullman trade and a second rounder. Essentially. It's like, you're really underselling Nate Schmidt after all. Like, the second round pick for Nate Schmidt makes sense, but for Tucker Pullman, and then to give Pullman a 4-year contract on top of it, awful. Physical defenseman who probably he's honestly a top 6 guy, which means not great.
Martin Jones is a Philadelphia Flyer. He's going to help out Carter Hart.
No, Carhartt's gonna play like a machine, so this guy never sees the ice rink again. At least that's why I hope happens. I mean, Mark Jones is not good. He was good. He's a Bruins legend. Never forget part of the Milan Lucic trade. But
Huh?
yeah, Mark
Really?
Jones isn't
I
great.
thought he's a King's legend.
Well, no, he's a Kings legend, a Bruins legend, a Sharks legend,
So,
and now a
when
Flyers legend.
when did Martin Jones play for the Bruins?
Well, he never played a game for him. He
Even better.
I know it's what Jonathan Bringy did with Carolina. He was there for like 5 days and then left with the Sharks in free agency. That was the whole deal there. Yeah, Martin Jones, Bruin. I know, crazy, but yeah, he's not going to do good with Philly. I feel.
Blue Jackets signed left wing Boone Jenner to a 4-year, $3.75 million AAV.
That's borderline overpayment. It's not awful, but borderline overpayment. And listen, he's still young. Well, he's 28, but the guy has at least shown, at least in a 70-game season, at least he'll average over 20 points in a year. So, I mean, yeah, keep him on the second, third line. He'll be doing decent.
Mm-hmm. Flyers signed defenseman Keith Yandel to a 1-year, $1.1 million AAV with a no move clause.
They took the Bruins defenseman. They wouldn't let the Massachusetts kid play with the Massachusetts team. Tears. Not really. I mean, yeah, I want to keep the end of the Bruins, but he's fine with the Flyers too. Hopefully, they'll buy out Justin Braun.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Philadelphia. They already moved on from Goss Despair. They already moved on from Robert Hagg. Just get rid of Justin Braun. Arikala. Man's good. Man's good. Bruins doing good things. Listen, he could be better, but I'm not gonna really complain. This guy has been pretty solid for the past 2-3 years. So, yeah, Arikala, 2 years, just about $5 million. Fine.
Yeah, Holla, yeah, I gotta agree with you, Grant. Holla to a 2-year, $2.375 million. That is pretty much right on the dot, basically. But if you're considering like a actual on the dot deal, 2 years, 3.3 mil. 2 years, 3 mil. Moving on.
I'm glad they didn't give him $6 million. I would have not been happy if they gave him $6 million personally.
Mike Hoffman is a Montreal Canadian. Panthers fans, how happy are you? Well, Blues fans.
I mean, he had 36 points in 52 games, which is a pretty Mike Hoffman-like season. He certainly wasn't awful. I think he's going to do well with Montreal. I mean, you're talking about a guy who could most certainly be playing on the first line. Or, pair him up with someone like Cole Caulfield or Terry Lekkinen and really help them develop a little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad contract. It's for 3 years. And he's, 29? 31. Okay, I was a little off. But still. That's fine.
Coyotes signed goaltender Carter Hutton to a 1-year, $750,000 deal. I think we know why
he's half blind. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think that's why.
Not to be rude to Carter Hutton, but he's not good.
Yeah,
he's been dealing with eye injuries for the past 2 seasons too.
Yeah. Now, welcome to DC, Matt Irwin.
Another former Boston Bruin.
And Dylan McElrath.
What do you people do? What are you doing? Y'all just signed 2 of the worst defensemen available.
Linus Ullmark is a Boston Bruin.
Bye, Rask. See you never. But listen, 20 mil for Allmark. That's kind of steep, but I'm not gonna complain because Jeremy Swayman's gonna be the starting goalie regardless. Allmark's still pretty good. Words of advice to my goalies: don't choke in the playoffs. I'm done. This is the reason why I'm happy we're getting rid of Rask, because we can potentially have goalies to succeed in the playoffs. I don't hate Rask. He drives me crazy in the playoffs. Allmark, I don't know what he's going to do. Yeah, I think they're just getting Allmark as a long-term backup, which is fine. And in case Swayman is a one-hit wonder, they got Allmark anyway.
We're actually gonna talk a Bruins trade at some point soon, which I'm gonna be very excited to talk about. It's not. Tomas Nosek is a Bruin. How happy are you that?
I mean, that's all right. It's not an awful deal by any means. I mean, 2 years, just over $3 million. I mean, he's got to be on the fourth line. I mean, I think you get rid of Chris Wagner at this point.
Chris Wagner is an. Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna say it.
No,
Penguins signed left wing.
Basically, no sack replaces Wagner.
Penguins signed left wing Brock McGinn to a 4-year, $2.75 million AAV. The reason why I'm clapping is that I still do not like him, and he's going to teams that I really don't like.
He earned a payday. I ain't gonna complain. He earned it.
Hold on. There's one topic that
this is your topic. This is your topic. I'm gonna say a singular. I'm not gonna say a word. This is your topic. You go for it.
Hold on. Ha 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 ha! Vanacek is back.
I'm turning off my camera to do something else. I'm not piss or anything. I'm back.
Guess who's back to DC? Vitek Van blank.
I ain't saying nothing. This is your topic, because I could just say the joke and move on with life, but
this is for all Bruins fans. I swear to God, you will never ever call Vitek Vanacek again. Do you hear me?
And what happens when he blows a 3-goal lead in the first game of the season? Win or lose, I don't care. Win or lose, if he blows a 3-goal lead, done.
New Jersey Devils trade defenseman Will Butcher to the Buffalo Sabres for future considerations.
I mean, it's a whatever trade. I wouldn't lose sleep over this if I'm New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. We got another trade to talk about. Coyotes trade defenseman Darcy Kuemper to the Colorado Avalanche for defenseman Connor Timmins. Colorado, where are you? Oh, wait. Hold on. I would like to release a statement for Colorado Avalanche. Since Ryan Graves is traded, Connor Timmins would literally replace Ryan Graves' spot. I understand that. And he would also literally replace Eric Johnson. I get that. He was your top defenseman prospect for the Avalanche since Cale Makar broke into the league.
You do realize that the only decent Avalanche goalie now is Pavel
Francouz.
Francouz, and they need Darcy Kuemper for a playoff run.
And Devin Dubnyk.
It's Devin Dubnyk. He's terrible. No, Kemper's so much better. I think Dubnyk's actually a free agent now.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, regardless, Devin Dubnyk needs to get the heck out of Colorado. Oh, no, he is an unrestricted free agent. I thought so. Okay, well, makes sense. You're going to have a healthy Frank Cruz back. He's a good backup, but you need Darcy Kemper or a goalie like Darcy Kemper to lead you to the promised land. And listen, you're going to lose a decent prospect along the way, but that's where the old saying goes. You got to spend money to make money. And in this case for Colorado, you got to trade a good player to get a good player. It sucks. I know you're losing your best defensive prospect, but at the same time, you get your goalie that can potentially send you to the Cup final. So everyone wins. Well, really, Colorado, because we already know Arizona's going to ruin Timmins. I have a gut feeling that they're going to do that.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. Guess who did not choose to retire? Craig Anderson is a Buffalo Sabre. So that means he is going to be a starter with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
I mean, listen, I respect Craig Anderson, but why did he not retire?
He should have signed with Tampa.
Should have won a cup. He elects to sign with the team who has the least chance of winning a cup next year.
They better. It's unlikely that the Sabres are going to pull off the Washington Nationals story.
No. A team like the Blue Jackets, a team like the Coyotes, a team like the Canadians, I guess, would be a decent example. They could pull off what the Nationals did in 2019. No. Buffalo's the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're in the basement, and they're staying in the basement.
Panthers re-signed defenseman Brandon Montour to a 3-year, $3.5 million AAV.
Where are my Bill Zito fanboys at? Because guess what? I'm actually not going to really say how bad of a signing this is. No, it's actually an okay signing. I know. I'm not absolutely destroying the Panthers management for once. I know it's crazy. We're setting new bars over here at Powerskate. Season 4, the season where I will try to understand and not question Bill Zito's every move. Although I will do that oh no, we aren't going to talk about the Sam Bennett contract, are we? No, that was last week. Never mind. I was about to say I was going to have my little moment with the Sam Bennett re-signing, but I realized that was last week, so I will not have my little moment with the Sam Bennett signing. So let's try something new, Panthers fans. I will try to not absolutely slander Bill Zito whenever he makes a decision I completely disagree with. Good. Nothing about Brad Montour.
There's actually 4 more topics. Flames signed left wing Trevor Lewis to a 1-year, $800,000 deal.
Why? Another Kings legend. I respect him, but why? There's Tyler Lewis. Oh my God, I forgot his name. Just retire.
You already won a Stanley Cup.
You already won 2. It's Trevor Lewis. Jesus, why did I say Tyler Lewis?
Like, who's Tyler Lewis? Is like a NASCAR dude or?
Nah. Oh yeah, Tyler Lewis coming to you soon. NASCAR 2026. I don't know. I forgot. I knew his name started with a T, and I was like Tyler.
Bruins fans, meet your new alternate captain, Nick Foligno.
Alternate captain, please no. I respect Nick Foligno, and I love this contract that we're paying him under $7 million. But I mean, listen, I don't want him to be the assistant captain, and I'm going to be very picky about the assistant captains. But it's pretty clear right now that your captaincies are set. Bergeron's your captain. Marchand, Pastrnak, McAvoy, your assistants. I know Nick Foligno's a veteran, but so is Brad Marchand, and at this point, so is David Pastrnak. Foligno, though, great. Whether, I really wish the Bruins made a move, or at least more of an attempt to try to get Connor Granlund. They're probably going to stick with Charlie Coyle as their second-line center, which is fine, I guess. But, I mean, at the same time, you could do better, but you could do worse. With Foligno and Craig Smith on the wings, the Bruins kind of have the same second lines they did last year. It's still complete, along with signing Hala and Nosak for the bottom six. You're doing stuff with that forward core that really struggled at the end of last season. Also, not to mention, now we're going to be seeing more of Jack Staninka. Learn how to say his name properly, Bruins fans. It took me like a couple months. So,
good job.
Laying you off with the warning, but he's the future.
Golden Knights re-signed left wing Matthias Janmark to 1 year, $2 million AAV. I would say give him like a 2-year deal.
One seems short. Anything, I guess, under 3 is really okay. Hat trick in Game 7. That's all I'm going to say. That's the sole reason why I got this contract to begin with. Hat trick in Game 7.
Yeah. Are you ready for the next topic?
Let's go.
Who said
2025 Vezina Trophy winner getting traded to Calgary to his for a third round pick? You know, this, if anything, this actually makes my prediction have a chance to be more correct. Vladar is probably going to start 35 to 40 games next year for Calgary. At this point about Calgary, I'm playing him over Jacob Markstrom any day of the week, if you want my personal opinion on that. This guy's young. And this guy has shown in his limited – I know he had limited starts, but he's done well in every single game besides the one game he allowed 8 goals to the Capitals. We don't bring that up here. Other than that, he's played well. He has the chance to now run away with the starting job. And by 2025, the Flames could be a playoff team. And if he wins the Vezina, the whatever, the William M. Jennings, I don't care. If he wins a goalie award in 2025, I don't know what I'm going to do other than just...
Let's hope if your dreams do come true. Let's say
let's hope if dreams come true. Although he better not beat out Allmark or Swayman for it. Then I'll just be upset.
Lightning signed center Pierre-Edouard Bellemare to a 2-year, $1 million AAV.
Oh, typical Lightning signing. What a shocker.
Yeah.
A player who belongs on the Lightning signed with the Lightning.
Mm-hmm. Flyers signed defenseman Nick Seeler to a 1 year, $750,000 deal. It's going to be a 7th defenseman.
What are you doing? This is trash. This is I mistaken this man for a trash can before. Not good. What are you doing, Flyers?
All right, moving on. Dallas Stars signed left wing Michael Raffle to a 1 year, $1.1 million AAV. Give him like a 1.5 mil. That'll make sense.
1.1's fine. I mean, it's for Michael Raffle. You happy the Capitals didn't bring back Raffle, or did you not like him?
He's okay.
He's okay. Yeah.
Maple Leafs signed left wing Jack Kopaka. Gonna be in the Marlies, according to the picture with the Gulls jersey.
San Diego Gulls.
Probably
my favorite AHL team, other than the Providence Bruins, of course. I just like the name. So I'm just like, if I had to rep an AHL squad that isn't the Providence Bruins, we're gonna go with the San Diego Gulls because why not?
The Slam Diego Gulls.
Oh, sure.
Like if their win song will be like California Love, Slam Diego Gulls. That. Yeah. All right. Dallas Stars signed defenseman Yanni Hakanpää to a 3-year, $1.5 million AAV. And you may be concerned about the picture. That's the best I can find. It's a press conference pic.
which, if you can find a press conference pic of this man, this makes it sound like this is a massive overpayment, despite only being 1.5 mil a season. Not gonna lie.
Next up, Penguins sign lefty Danton Heinen.
Why don't the Bruins
1 year,
bring back the
1.1 million.
people I want them to bring back? What are you doing? Why do we, dude, I would rather have this guy than Nosak. I would have much rather brought Danton Heinen back. Guy was a stud with the Bruins. I don't know what they're doing. He was also pretty good on the Ducks, and he's going to succeed with Pittsburgh. I'd imagine he's playing on the third line, but he'll probably get 20, 25 points if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Blues sign left wing Brandon Saad to a 5-year, 4.5 mil AAV. Can I speak first? If that's all right.
You may absolutely.
Brandon Saad won the Stanley Cup in 2013 and 2015, I believe.
Yep.
He came back to Chicago from the Artemi Panarin trade. And how did that work out? Panarin was a stud in Columbus. Yes, I know that we're not talking about Panarin. I'm just saying that as an example.
Focus on the topic.
I know. How did Saad do in the return to Chicago? I think that it did not work out at the start. So, where did he go? He got traded for Nikita Zadorov. And where is he at right now? The St. Louis Blues, his fourth NHL team, for a 5-year, 4.5 mil AAV. And, he's declining production-wise. Give him, a modern 3-year, 3.1 mil AAV, and that would be on the dot.
Yeah.
Now go.
Listen, Saad's good. He's still pretty good. And he hasn't slowed down tremendously production-wise. You tell me by year 3 or 4 this isn't going to be the James Neal situation. I'm already calling Brandon Saad James Neal 2.0 because this contract's going to look great this year and next year. It's going to look good. Third year comes around, I think this is when the contract's going to absolutely blow. And it's just ultimately, it's going to just lead to cap trouble. And the Blues have already sent themselves pretty deep down the rabbit hole in awful contracts. So, I don't know. It's just, it'll work for now, but it's not a contract I would really be excited for.
Predators signed goaltender David Riddick to a 1-year, 1.5 mil AAV, and I just want to give an applause for the replacement of Pekka Rinne. Yes, I know UC Saros is gonna be the starter. Castaswell demoted himself to Europe. Riddick and Saros, I think that's a good goaltending pair. I'll say that.
It is. It's fine. It won't send you far into the playoffs, but it might get you there, so.
Rangers re-signed Sam Philip Hedl to a 2-year, 2.3 mil AAV.
Name's Hedl?
Yeah.
I've been calling them Chattel this entire. I've called them Chattel since 2017.
It's Hedl.
Not Chattel.
Nah.
Hedl. Well, now I will be more prepared for Ranger broadcasts next season.
Yes.
Random in fact, I've been calling them Chattel for 4 whole seasons. Ain't that wonderful? Well, overall, the contract's fine. So, there's nothing much else to talk about, but he was pronouncing his name for 4 years.
And guess who's back guess who's going to Tampa? Mr. Corey Perry.
Can't Beat them, join them. I don't blame them.
All right. Speaking of Tampa Bay, Lightning re-signed defenseman Cal Foote to a 2-year, $850,000 deal. Also a good sign for a player who's going to start his rookie season this upcoming year.
Yeah. And Calfoot's decent. He always has been one of the better Tampa Bay prospects, and I'm glad he's finally getting a shot and getting a contract extension. Hopefully he does well.
All right, are you guys ready for a trade? Vegas trades Revo to the New York Rangers for a 2023 third-round pick. And there's a certain player who's also on the picture. Bruins legend and this former nostalgia Adam McQuaid.
Adam McQuaid. I mean, look, Ryan Reeves is a good player, but you telling me you are going to spend a third-round pick for this guy?
And also like your comments since you pointed that out.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm. And according to Ryan Reeves, he said, "New York, what is up? Like, let's go." Like, and do you want to know what's even ironic? Rangers and the Capitals of home opener. I swear to God, we have to do a live reaction for that. Wilson and Reeves going at it at home opener.
They're going to be fun the second the puck drops. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we have to do a live reaction. We got to.
Hopefully it's on ESPN or something so I can actually watch it.
Yes. Well, and do you want to know what's the best thing? It's going to be off topic, but it's kind of ESPN related. I finally can watch ESPN games pretty much. So, shout out to the Olympics who did, NHL draft, I believe. But anyway, whoever was on ESPN, good job. Now I can watch some games. Blue Jackets re-signed defenseman Zach Werenski to a 6-year, $9.835 million AAV.
Earned that payday. He earned that payday. I got no complaints from me. You re-sign your all-star defenseman. No complaints from me.
Now, Columbus, Kekalina, and Werenski deserve a round of applause. That's what we gave them. Lightning trade left wing Mitchell Stevens to the Detroit Red Wings for a 2022 sixth round pick. Well, Mitchell Stevens is about to become a solid NHL player, but for a team like Detroit, he's gonna play a lot more games, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's pretty much guaranteed a roster spot on a team like Detroit, so that's not all that bad.
Mm-hmm. Golden Knights right wing Alex Tuch will be out for 6 months due to a shoulder injury.
Sucks. Vegas
is
a key part of their first line. That hurts.
Yeah. Sabres signed Ryan McInnes to a 1-year, $750,000 deal. He's most likely going to be an AHL dude. Or pretty much an NHL guy since he's pretty much on a bad team. Ryan McInnes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just realized he's the son of Al McInnes.
Al McInnes, your son, he ain't good. I hate to break the news to you.
Yeah.
Even Chris Bork was better.
Oh, Chris Bork, Bears legend.
Capitals.
2-time Calder Cup champion with the Hershey Bears.
Yeah, also Cap slander video.
Oh my God, I gotta know that. Anyway, another Jack Eichel trade talk. If the Buffalo Sabres trade center Jack Eichel, the New York Rangers will trade prospects Zach Jones, Alexander Georgiev, and center Vitaly Kravtsov.
A lot of prospects, but for someone like Eichel, it's okay.
I think what will be a good trade is like Eichel, Georgiev, and Kravtsov. And last time I checked about Georgiev, he's literally requesting a trade because he wants to be a full-time starter.
I did see that. Yeah.
So, maybe a good opportunity for Georgiev as a starter for Buffalo? Alright, interesting. Maple Leafs signed left-wing Nick Ritchie to a 2-year, $2.5 million AAV, and I'm literally devastated because I'm really trying to find the Nick Ritchie hit on Scott Mayfield.
You know, Kyle Palmieri gave a little cheap shot to Charlie McAvoy the game afterwards, so I don't care. We're even. It's even now, but yeah, I mean, listen, Richie, he's okay. He's what you expect out of like a third liner who could play a second liner if a player is out short term with an injury. You know, he's going to average 25 points a year. He's not going to wow anyone. He's just going to be, you know, a decent player for the playoffs. He's all right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oilers signed newly acquired left-wing Warren Fogle to a 3-year, $2.75 million AAV.
Not bad. Again, I mean, not an overpayment, not an underpayment. Give the kid a shot. Let's give him a small contract, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah. Oh, where do we go? Fogle. I'm gonna give this a round of applause because Tyler Bertuzzi re-signed with Detroit for 2 years.
Why? Tyler, you could have been a first liner on a decent team, man. What are you doing? Ugh. Ridiculous, dude. It's a good contract.
Panthers
He's a great player, but like, dude.
All right, and also have a question for the Panthers. You re-signed Sam Montembeault. All right, so pretty much he's gonna be a third-string goaltender, but you have Spencer Knight.
He's gonna be the starter. Bobrovsky the backup. And there ain't no need to panic because we got the third-string goalie / the top AHL goalie right here. They could also use Montembeault for trade bait.
Yeah. And I dropped some NMMs. Haha. Alright, moving on. Bruins fans say goodbye to David Krejci. He's going to Czech Republic.
How do I explain? I respect Krejci's decision choosing his family over the sport. I have no complaints there. And I know I've been notorious saying I would be okay if Krejci left the Bruins. And I really am fine with it. It's just I wish the Bruins were more prepared. It sounded like for the past 2 weeks, they re-signed Hull. They are re-signing Krejci. It seemed that was a given. And when family comes into play, I respect David Krejci's decision. And the Bruins just aren't prepared to replace Krejci. That was the issue.
Right.
And they missed out on like 2 or 3 decent centers. They missed out on players like Philip Deneau. They missed out on acquiring someone like Michael Stevens.
Mitchell Stevens.
Mitchell Stevens, rather. And it's like, well, since Krejci retired a few days after all the signings were done, Boss is now not really prepared. And now I think they're just going to put their hopes in Jack Stadinka, which, like I mentioned before, like, he might be good, but based off the limited NHL play I've seen him, he hasn't developed properly yet. Now, granted, he's only played like 50 career games, so he's still got time, but the Bruins, they weren't prepared for Krejci to leave, is what I'm basically saying. And they should have been when they knew that his contract was expiring and they knew for the past at least 2 months something was going on with his family in Czech Republic. Why didn't the Bruins address this quicker? No idea.
Canadians re-signed left wing Arturi Lehkonen to a 1 year, $2.3 million AAV.
I mean, it's a good
Solid.
contract. I would honestly pay him more, but that's just me.
Yeah. Next. Avalanche signed defenseman Ryan Murray to a 1 year, $2 million deal. Second, was he a second round? Not second overall pick. Yeah, second overall pick. Yeah, it was Yakupov, Murray, and Galchenyuk.
Oh my god, 2012. You got bus 1, bus 2, bus 3. That's hysterical. I mean, Ryan Murray's whatever.
Now we will get some today news. Stars signed defenseman Gerard Rosberg to a 2 year, 2-way deal. And one thing that I learned last night is that he is the son of one of the Ravens from front office. So yeah.
Interesting.
Nah, I'm a Dallas Stars fan, pretty much. Just kidding.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. No. The main reason why you're a Dallas Stars fan is because, obviously, Brendan Hope and Michael Raffle.
Oh, probably, I guess.
Like, no, Grant, stop.
Alright, moving on. The Seattle Kraken have unveiled their new dressing room at their practice facility, the Seattle Kraken Community Ice Plugs. W or L at this? I could say that's a W.
That's
the reason
a
why
massive W. That looks like a ginormous locker room, and it looks wicked neat. So I give props to Seattle for at least making a good-looking locker room.
Yeah. Nostalgia of the week.
3.
This one is our true nostalgia because Sabres legend Frank J. Selke Trophy winner, like a 8-time Selke winner, Michael Pekka will be an assistant coach for the Rochester Americans.
If he's an 8-time Selke Award winner, why isn't he in the Hall of Fame?
I'm throwing out a random number because.
Oh. I thought it was actually an 8-time. If he was an 8-timer, I'd be like, get this man in the Hall of Fame immediately. But I was like, Michael Pekka, is he really a Hall of Famer? Kinda, sorta.
Yeah.
He's at least going to be in the Sabres Hall of Fame if he isn't already, so.
Yeah. Coyotes signed center Travis Boyd to a 1 year, $750,000 deal.
Canucks legend Travis Boyd.
Capitals legend.
That too.
Now we're going to get some today news. Jets re-signed defenseman Logan Stanley to a 2 year, $900,000 deal.
Crickets. I mean, he's on the third pairing. He ain't gonna do much.
And some notable topics, which I'm pretty much gonna post later on tonight or tomorrow. Blues re-signed both Ivan Barbashev and Zach Sanford, so this will get posted pretty much later on tonight. Alright, I guess that's gonna wrap up for Season 4, Episode 2 of the Powerskate Show, and this is definitely the longest.
Yeah, that's now longest running episode if you don't include live reactions.
Yeah. If you guys want
free agency for that.
Yeah. If you guys want to follow our personal Instagram accounts, links will be in the description below. Do you guys want to follow the Powerskate Show for news, updates when we go live, and all that good stuff? Links will be in the description below for hockey news also. Do you guys want to follow Grant Flood, Floods the Sports Zone YouTube channel for his Floods the Sports Zone talk shows on Sunday 1 to 3? The link is in the description below. And check out my YouTube channel. The link is also in the description below. Grant, would you like to add anything?
Oh yeah, football season is starting tomorrow. So like Alex said, go subscribe to Fletcher Sports Zone live commentary, Cowboys Steelers. So make sure you go tune to that, and then so I gotta wait another couple of months before we can do a hockey broadcast, unfortunately. But don't worry, those will be rolling around once the fall comes. But yeah, hope everyone enjoyed the episode. Glad to be back after my 2-episode hiatus. But John and Harrison did a good job filling in for me, so shout out to them for them coming on. That was awesome.
Yes. And with that, guys, hit the like button for more podcast episodes coming your way. And tell all your friends that Tony D'Angelo is back in the NHL and
Should be in the
I think
KHL. Don't care. He's NHL talent, but should be in the KHL. We do not care.
Alright, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And with that, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Have a good night, everybody.